Good afternoon. Have to say, I'm absolutely delighted to be here because I happen to have the best job in government. I get to set up trials on technology, which I love. I've been in the industry now for 25 years doing mobile telecoms, and the opportunity to work not just in an operator, not just in a vendor, but create trials, create test beds, and see the use cases, because as Nick said, it's about the use cases. We've got a lot of technology out there, got a lot of things rolling out. But let's just reflect on how we got here. Autumn 2017, Chancellor of the Exchequer decided that it'd be a really good idea that the UK got on the front foot when it comes to developing technology, digital technology. DCMS was the Department for Culture, Media and Sport, became the Department for Digital Culture, Media and Sport. So the change of government, machinery of government change, started to bring this together and started to allow government to get involved in policy around digital, to actually drive changes and create the environment to enable this kind of thing to happen. The programme vision is clear. We want to foster, build and lead. We want to foster the development of the ecosystem for 5G. We want to build the business case for 5G. Many people say the case isn't proven. I think through these trials we're starting to demonstrate that we can prove the other use cases. It's not all about consumer mobile. It's not all about voice, text, data. There's enterprise out there. There's different opportunities. So we're starting to prove that. And we want to lead the way in research and development and demonstrate that the UK has 5G leadership. And as we've seen, you talked about different use cases. It's not all about the technology. I mean, Des did a great job talking about technology. Lots of bits of kit bolting together. Lots of complex things to solve. As a network engineer myself, I often use the phrase, how hard can it be? So we sat there when we ran this competition last year, all the people coming in to talk to us on our, we call it the phase 1 trials, and we're looking at them and going, well, yeah, but, you know, how hard can it be? We'll give you a year, that'd be fine, you can do it, set it up in 6 months, you can run trials for 6 months, that'll all be great. And then we start to get the feedback, creating consortiums, getting the designs together, making sure the partners are all working and everything's, you know, sort of the governance is flowing, the problems it throws up. You know, who would have thought that the Orkneys is a difficult place to deploy a network? Unless you've done it. And you've seen the pictures of the field engineers with the backpacks on in the snow wading up the hillside. As an ex-Ericsson operations guy, I've seen it myself, where you dispatch the field tech to go and fix a site and you see the photos come back and he's waded across a stream to get there. It's just some insane territory you have to really get over to do this stuff. But, as I've talked about, it's about the use cases, and it's really great to see this competition, this phase 1 set of programs and trials, really exploring different ways of doing things. And I really like the rural first. This getting out there, beyond the city, great strapline, I'm going to nick that. And it's really good to see. As you talked about in Mobile World Congress, as the end of a long day, who's ever been to Mobile World Congress? It's insane, right? Over two and a half days, I must have done 40 kilometres. My stepometer broke. It was that kind of place. And end of the Monday, we come along to the Cisco stand, and we sort of stood there out the front, and there's big posters like this showing what's going on, and we had a chat, and it was pointed out to us that lots of governments have come along and spoken to you guys doing Rural First and said, this is really interesting because lots of people are talking about 5G. People are kind of ambivalent, not sure where it's going to take us. They're rolling out networks. They're solving their capacity problems in cities and urban environments, but there's nowhere that's really trying these out in anger. Nobody's deploying this. No one's taking the brave step to say, let's try doing some of these trials in some difficult places and demonstrate, not on a spreadsheet, not in a boardroom, but out there in real-life deployments that this stuff can be done. So I think that was an absolute piece of great feedback for myself, because I sit there in the corridors of power in Whitehall going, how am I spending taxpayers' money wisely? I feel I am. I've touched on the huge amount of work that's required to do these things. Don't feel alone. All the trials, the 6 trials that have been running, have all got the same problem. It's great to see so many faces here, because for me, it's great to see the interoperability between all the different consortiums. There's lots of overlap, lots of people popping up in different places, and I sometimes think that some of you are professional conference goers, because I keep seeing you at the same places. but then I say to myself, well, if I'm seeing you at the same places, clearly I'm the professional conference goer at that point. So I have to say I'm really proud of the work you've done. I think it's absolutely fabulous. You should give all yourself a huge round of applause for it. I'm really pleased that we're able to bring together different communities to have different conversations, because as you said earlier, Nikos, you wouldn't have been talking about farms, tractors, fertiliser, pesticides, me and moo to anybody else unless you'd have done this programme. So that's really good for the ecosystem, which we're trying to drive, where we bring it all together. So I'm delighted to be here. I'm delighted to see it all in action and experience the journey as we go beyond the city.